Good day, students. Welcome to this JSS 1 Basic Science lesson on habitats, their types and the adaptations living things have evolved to survive in them. A habitat is the natural home of an organism. Nigeria is blessed with extraordinary ecological diversity: mangrove forests in the Niger Delta, rainforest in Cross River State, savannas across the Middle Belt and North, the Sahel semi-desert in Borno State, and freshwater rivers and lakes. Each habitat has its own community of uniquely adapted organisms. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define habitat, population, community, and ecosystem, classify habitats as terrestrial or aquatic, describe the features of major Nigerian habitats, explain structural and physiological adaptations, and give examples of organisms adapted to each major habitat. Let us begin. Key ecological terms. Habitat, the natural place where an organism lives, includes the physical environment, soil, water, temperature, light, and the biotic, living, community. Population, all individuals of the same species living in a given area at the same time. Example, all the tilapia fish in a specific pond. Community, all the different populations of organisms living together in the same area. Example, all the plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria in a forest. Ecosystem, the community of organisms plus their non-living, abiotic, environment, soil, water, temperature, light, rainfall. Niche, the specific role an organism plays in its ecosystem, what it eats, when it is active, where it feeds. Two species cannot permanently occupy the exact same niche in the same place. Habitat classification. Terrestrial habitats, on land. Types: forest, rainforest, grassland, savanna, desert, farmland, urban areas. Aquatic habitats, in water. Types: freshwater, river, lake, stream, pond, marine, sea/ocean, brackish/estuarine, where river meets sea, mangrove swamps. Nigeria's major vegetation zones, south to north. Mangrove forest, coastal Niger Delta coastline, tidal, saltwater and freshwater mixing. Rainforest, tropical Cross River, Edo, Delta, Ondo states, high rainfall year-round, very diverse. Guinea savanna, woodland Benue, Kwara, Oyo states, trees and grass, one dry season. Sudan savanna, open grass Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, fewer trees, longer dry season. Sahel/semi-desert, Borno, Yobe, sparse vegetation, extreme dry season, close to Sahara. Types of adaptations. Structural, morphological physical features of the organism's body. Physiological, internal/chemical processes, metabolic adaptations. Behavioral, how the organism acts to survive. Rainforest adaptations. Trees, buttress roots, wide flared roots for support in shallow soils, large leaves, to capture light on the forest floor, drip tips on leaves, or shed rain quickly to prevent algae and mold growth. Animals, bright colors for communication/camouflage among colorful flowers, climbing adaptations, long limbs, prehensile tails, nocturnal behavior to avoid heat. Savanna adaptations, dry season survival. Plants, deep tap roots to reach water, thick bark to resist grass fires, deciduous, shed leaves in dry season to reduce water loss, thorns to deter browsers. Animals, migration to follow rainfall and food, ability to go long periods without water, pale coloring, camo, oryx to reflect heat. Specific Nigerian examples: baobab tree, stores thousands of liters of water in swollen trunk, acacias, thorns and small leaves. Elephants, migrate seasonally in older times across Nigeria. Kano kite, a bird of prey, patrols markets for scraps. Desert/Sahel adaptations. Plants, cacti and succulent equivalents thick cuticle, waxy coating, to reduce water loss, stomata open at night, CM plants, water storage in fleshy stems or leaves, roots spread wide and shallow to catch rare rain. Animals, nocturnal, active at night when cooler, concentrated urine to conserve water, long legs, raised body from hot ground, camouflage, sandy coloring. Nigerian example, Sahel region, hardy Sahel cattle or Fulani cattle are specifically adapted to hot dry conditions, can travel long distances between water sources. Freshwater adaptations. Fish, tilapia, catfish gills for extracting dissolved oxygen from water, streamlined body for swimming, lateral line, sense organ detecting water vibration/pressure changes. Aquatic plants, water lily, water hyacinth flat leaves float on surface for light, petioles have air spaces, erenchyma, for buoyancy, roots in mud absorb nutrients. Frog, moist, permeable skin for gas exchange and water absorption, webbed feet for swimming, camouflage. Marine adaptations, ocean. Fish, gills, specialized kidneys to remove excess salt, swim bladder for buoyancy. Mangrove trees, salt exclusion or salt secretion through leaves, prop roots, stilts, for support in soft muddy soil, pneumatophores, specialized roots that project upward out of mud to absorb oxygen. 3 examination questions. Question 1. State 2 adaptations of the baobab tree to the savanna environment, and explain how each helps survival. A. Thick, water-storing trunk. The baobab can store thousands of liters of water in its spongy trunk, allowing it to survive the long Nigerian dry season when soil water is unavailable. B. Deciduous, shades leaves in dry season by dropping leaves. The baobab reduces water loss through transpiration during the hottest, driest months, conserving water for the wet season when leaves regrow. Question 2. What is the difference between a population and a community? Give a Nigerian example of each. Population, all organisms of one species in an area. Example, all the tilapia fish in Lake Chad. Community, all organisms of all species in an area. Example, all the plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria living in the Yankari Game Reserve. Question 3. Explain why mangrove trees have pneumatophores, air roots. Mangrove trees grow in waterlogged, muddy soils, swamps, where oxygen is very scarce. Normal roots cannot get enough oxygen from the oxygen-depleted mud. Pneumatophores are specialized roots that grow upward out of the mud into the air, allowing the tree to obtain oxygen for root cells to respire aerobically. Without pneumatophores, the mangrove's roots would suffocate and die. 3 common mistakes. Mistake 1. Confusing habitat and niche. Habitat is where an organism lives, its address. Niche is what it does, its role/occupation in the ecosystem. 2 organisms can share the same habitat but have different niches. 2 organisms with exactly the same niche in the same habitat cannot coexist, one will outcompete the other. Mistake 2. Thinking adaptation is a choice. Animals do not decide to adapt. Adaptation is the result of natural selection over many generations. Individuals with traits better suited to their environment survive and reproduce more, passing those traits to offspring. No individual adapts in its own lifetime, with some exceptions like physiological acclimatization. Mistake 3. Confusing community and ecosystem. Community equals all living organisms only. Ecosystem equals community plus abiotic environment, soil, water, temperature, light. An ecosystem includes the non-living components. Summary. Habitat, natural home of an organism. Levels, population, community, ecosystem. Terrestrial, forest, rainforest, savanna, desert, farmland. Aquatic, freshwater, rivers, lakes, marine, ocean, estuarine, mangrove. Nigeria, mangrove rainforest, Guinea savanna, Sudan savanna, Sahel. Adaptations, structural, body features, physiological, internal processes, behavioral, actions. Savanna, deep roots, deciduous trees, fire-resistant bark, baobab, water storage. Desert, nocturnal, concentrated urine, CAM plants. Freshwater, gills, streamlined body, lateral line. Mangrove, pneumatophores, air roots, prop roots. For homework, A. Draw Nigeria's vegetation map and label 4 zones. B. List 3 adaptations each for a savanna plant and a freshwater fish. C. Distinguish habitat and niche, population and community, community and ecosystem. Attempt a quiz on your LMS. Keep exploring the world around you. Visit Litech Academy at academy.litech.com.ng. Until next time.